All right. Well, do you want to get into constructing the game plan now for this upcoming matchup with the Jets?
It's a tough one to even do because we don't know who's playing, right? We can guess, but I think it's contingent on the rosterable players. And we don't know obviously, I don't think a new player is going to be on the roster, but we don't know which of their, specifically the offense too, like who's playing on the team. Like the receivers missing, they have a running back missing. So does it matter? I guess we're going to have to consider them playing or not playing. What do you want to do?
I don't even care. Well, obviously I do care, but I think no matter who plays, the game plan is the same. Because I talked about this with Thad. I don't know if you heard this or not, but we agreed that now the book is out on how to stop this Bills offense. Because especially if you have corners like Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed, who are very sticky corners and probably a little bit too handsy. So that'll be something to monitor on Monday night, as we've seen that with Sauce Gardner over the last couple of years. But if you don't have the ability to separate from the wide receivers on the Bills here, and you combine that with those sticky corners, that's a bad combination to begin with. And then teams are realizing that if you blitz the Bills, then Josh Allen is going to be dancing around the pocket. He's going to be running around, and then the Bills offensive line kind of unfolds. Now, some of that is due in part to maybe Allen escaping a little bit too early. But either way, that's pretty much how you stop the Bills. You don't get that separation down the field, and then you blitz them to get pressure in Allen's face so that he doesn't have the time to try to find someone to finally separate. I think this game plan has to be establishing the line of scrimmage. You try to get the run game going. The Jets are second in pass coverage, 14th against a run. So I'm not saying that they have to run constantly, right? This doesn't have to be, James Cook doesn't need 30 rushing attempts.
Right.
You still want the game to go through Josh Allen. But maybe this is a week then when they can finally start to utilize the weapons that they have to their advantage. Maybe Curtis Samuel can finally get some easy routes, right? Just to move the chains. Same with MVS, Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid, because Kincaid is not playing like a first-round pick. So I don't think that this is a week where you're going to want to throw up prayers to Matt Collins with Sauce Gardner defending him. That just scares me already. And I will say, Josh Allen through 5 games still has 0 interceptions. Mahomes has 6. Now, Allen probably has thrown a couple that probably could have gotten picked, but the numbers don't lie. He has 0 interceptions. I would like to keep it that way, and I don't want to be throwing up these bombs to Matt Collins or fill your name in here. So I think that they need to just kind of get back to what they did the first few weeks, get some pre-snap motion, utilize play action, and stretch the field horizontally so that it can lead to bigger gains vertically.
Yeah, it's going to be challenging to assume established line of scrimmage when we don't know if James Cook is playing. I don't know how much they're going to want to have a heavy run game specific flow with Ty Johnson. Maybe they do. I think he's jumped, by the way, based on snap count and some other factors. He has jumped Ray Davis for sure.
I started to notice that too.
Yeah, so we'll see if this is a big test for that, especially if Cook does play. I do think that will help you with total game speed. Ty Johnson brings a lot to the table. He's a good pass catching back. He's physical. He hits the hole hard. He's got good speed. I do think the Bills are best when pre-snap motion. I think that left glove from Josh Allen is throwing him off. I do think he tried to make a point last week to say that I can beat you, Stephon Diggs, not just with dink and dunk. I can beat you over the top. I can beat you deep. I can do whatever I want. I don't need you at all. So I think he made a little bit of a play for that. I do think the offensive coordinator himself was also very much so you left me. You didn't leave Dorsey. You didn't leave Dable. You left me. And you didn't think my offense was good enough for you. So I do think there was a little bit of pressing. We all talk about Josh and Steph. Obviously, there wasn't a good thing with Brady and Steph. Seriously, if he liked the offensive coordinator, thought that it fit him in as a true wide receiver 1, he wouldn't have gone anywhere. So I do think that there has to be some contention between the style of offense the Bills run at the end of last year, and Bills offense that they were going to run this year, and stuff nah, get me out of here. Give me the Stroud. So I do think that the offensive coordinator may have had a little bit of prove and didn't do a great job with that as well. So ultimately, when you look at everything, the Bills need this game. The Jets are in turmoil. You control the line of scrimmage. The Jets' offensive line has been horrific. They've had players in and out. They've had really bad advanced analytics between the pass blocking and the run blocking has been bad. Breece Hall's been down. Garrett Wilson's been getting a ton of targets and been doing a little bit with them based on the game. So I think right now on the offensive side of the ball, at least, the Bills want horizontal motion. The Bills want to stretch that good Jets defense, which is still good. We'll see what it looks like under Albright. The reason I think that he was elevated to the head coaching job is the defense shouldn't take too much of a hit as long as the players still want to play the game, which they should. And then ultimately, let's win the game with short passes, take what it's giving. The Jets are known to do that and to bait Josh Allen into throwing interceptions. They've done it. They give him the honey hole all the time. I remember the throw on the right sideline week 1 last year that they gave him. They baited him into throwing and he threw it. He needs to take his open receivers in this game. I don't know that they're going to press him in man. The Bills are going to be ready for man coverage. The Bills know how to beat man coverage. They were just thrown off by the pressure packages and decided to go deep, which sometimes some of the best against man and against pressure packages, you have lots of holes in the deep third of the field. Josh Allen decided to take those and it didn't work out. So I think the game plan this week is going to be take what the Jets has always traditionally given you. They feel like you're going to get bored and make a bad decision. But take what you're given, nickel dime your way down the field, control the line of scrimmage, and do what you can to dominate on defense and get the ball back to your offense. The defensive game plan is simple. Stop the run and put pressure on Aaron Rodgers. If he beats you with Allen Lazard and Ty Conklin, that's what it is. But you need to do whatever you can to put as much pressure on him with his bum ankle. He moved around horribly. I wasn't 100% sure he would play in this week. There was some early talks. It could even be Tyrod Taylor, but ultimately put some pressure on him, show him that he's already gotten his head coaching fired, no matter what he says. Get that pressure, stop the run, which the Bills were very good at against the Texans. The Bills defense actually elevated to 6th in DVOA after this game. And yes, take a lead. Like they did take a 3-0 lead. That's fine. But don't get down. They've been down 3 times now by double digits. Obviously came back against the Cardinals, almost came back against the Texans, and started to come back a little bit against the Ravens before that turnover. So that's my game plan is shorten the game maybe in this one. No deep passes against the secondary. That's not needed. No fast scores. Shorten it up. Run the ball. Put a lot of pressure on the Jets. Make them turn the ball over. One of those Aaron Rodgers interceptions. Make him stay in the pocket, get the ball back to your offense and put this game away, go to 4-2, put the Jets back to 2-4 and really be 3 games behind you. And the Dolphins are reeling too on their bye week and you're in great shape. That's a huge reason that I think the Bills go all out against a team with a new head coach with a Taron Johnson, Terrell Bernard playing. We'll see with that Oliver, but Rapp being back, and they're going to get reinforcements. The 6th overall defense is getting their players back, and they need it in this game.
Piggybacking off of your points there, another reason why I think the Bills need to nickel and dime their way down the field is Will McDonald for the Jets is tied for 2nd in the league with 6 sacks. So he's been having a very sneaky good season. And going off of my point about how if your receivers can't get open down the field, then Will McDonald is going to be in Josh Allen's face. And the other defensive linemen, for that matter, I mean, they still have, Quinnen Williams, Michael Clemens, Javon Kinlaw, Tack McKinley, Solomon Thomas. Are all those guys healthy?
Yes, I believe so.
Yeah, I think they are. So, yep. I mean, they are very stout on that defensive line. We know how they like to blitz. And now, seeing what the Ravens and the Texans did, now they're really going to want to blitz, especially if the Bills can't get that separation down the field. So that's why I'm not trying to have Mac Hollins run 20, 25-yard routes. Instead, this is why it's so key if Khalil Shakir can play. Just sit in the middle of the field, right? 5 to 7 yards, 5 to 7 yards. Move the chains. You don't have to go for it all at once.